Hi guys, how you doing? Good morning, hope you're all okay. Right, this is going to be, well, I'm hoping it's going to be a quick video. I'm not saying it is and I'm not saying it isn't, because it's the first time I've ever actually done how I do something like and actually try and work through to show you how I do it. Joe has asked me, and a couple of other guys have asked me since my last video of how I do my own seatbelt buckles for planes. And basically I use this, which is basically fused wire in Britain. Round by me you get a shop. In the shop you get like 3 different sizes of fused wire on a little card. In fact, let me see if I've got some. I will show you. And there you go, it comes like this in Britain, in my local shop. So you get the 5 amp stuff, oops sorry, your 15 amp stuff, that one, and then obviously your 30 amp stuff, so it gets thicker as you go along. This is going to be actually the 15 amp wire I'm using, and I'll tell you how much this was. 49 pence, that is English money, so that's 49 pence for that. And then your Tamiya tape, your basic Tamiya tape, and that is basically it, guys. So no further ado, let me show you how to do it now. If my hands are getting in the way, I'm sorry, but I can't really tell because obviously I've got to do the video. So first of all, what you want to do is get your size of tape. I'll just make one side, so it's easier to do. Now what I do is the beauty of this is as long as you get the bits of metal in sort of this distance up towards one end, you don't really need to worry about how big they are, because you can obviously stick them around the back of your seat or cut them to size while you're there. So let's just cut an adequate piece of size off. So that's what, let's get a ruler. In centimetres, that is literally about 3 centimetres. Okay, so what I'll do is stick it down just onto the side like so, and then I get my trusty knife, and this is a new way of doing it actually. In fact, I'll do it the way I did it on myself. I can stick it down, or basically what I do is get my scissors. These are Tamiya decal scissors. Now this might not work as well because I've cut it straight off the card, so I cut it basically in half, bang on half, instead of folding it over, which probably would have been an easier way of doing it, but I'll show you why you can't really fold it over in a bit, because it's a bit of a pain to get the metal in the right place for sticking it to. So there you go. So there is your 2 bits of paper, your 2 bits of tape. Right, so leave them as they are for now. Always put your blade away for safety, because the amount of times that I never have done and I've cut myself is untrue. So next thing is you need to try and get a sort of straighter edge of your wire. Now these are just basically Revell's jewellery tool. I use them for bending photo etch and that type of thing. So what you do is you get your fused wire, what I do, and then I basically just pinch it in between like so, and just wrap it around like that just once, so it makes basically a circle. Then see, you've got, I don't know if you can see that, but you should have, don't know if you can see, but basically it's, you have the hoop, a bit of a hoop like that. Okay, then what I do is get my trusty sprue cutters and just snip it off. Now make sure you cover it, because if you don't, the bugger will decide to try and run off, and the carpet monster will not be hungry for a little bit. Then depending on what shape it is, you could do with just perhaps just squeezing it just a tad, just to get it together. Okay, but bear in mind this is 1/48 scale, so that is basically right. So then now this is the tedious part, is you need to try and feed it the tape through the gap now, which is quite a bit of a tedious thing to do. It depends, because sometimes you can, and bugger, and sometimes you can, and you got to remember that sometimes you can't. Can you believe it? Just let me pause you in, guys, while I try and find that piece of thing that's now. Right, guys, yeah, I'm back. You guys are pissing yourselves laughing. I was too, deep down, honest. The carpet monster nearly had that one, but luckily I found it. Right, so just try not to squeeze. Oh, you little sod. This is what I mean. It's dead fiddly now, because I'm on camera. You can guarantee it's not going to work straight away. So you just need to basically feed it through, like so. It hasn't fiddled me that much this time, have you? Eh? Right, so you just want it, say, about 3/4 of the way down of that. Now the beauty is just push it on your finger, just like so. So there's your bottle. Now the next part you need to do is just basically match these two bits of tape up with one another, because that is going to be your backing of your other piece of your seatbelt. Okay, so let me just see if I can do it on camera, or if not I'm going to have to pause you. Of course, you know, you guarantee, can't you, nothing ever works, because I couldn't believe it how easy I did this last time when I was doing it on my own. But of course, because you're on camera, it doesn't want to work. So yeah, there you go, it has worked. Right, so there you go. There's your first bit. So then just bend it down to the way that you want. In fact, that's not even important, it's minute time. So look, it's now solid. Anybody that can see, it's all done, dusted. Okay, so there you go, there's that bit. Now then, a lot of seat belts have shoulder straps. So all I do now is I cut just another little piece of Tamiya tape. So not much, just a little square like that, centimetre or so. Okay, and then what I do is I decide which end's going to be the top end, because obviously you want it roughly over, you know, the shoulder pad of where your shoulder's going to be. So basically I just attach it on like that, and I just wrap it around until it's all done, because you ideally want a bit of a raise, so you can tell that, because obviously what I did is on the Corsair, I've painted it a different colour to the actual strapping, because you know you want it to stand out a bit. But what you want it also to do is just stand out a bit, as in like be raised off the actual strapping. Now the Tamiya tape, obviously when you're faffing around with it and touching it a lot, is not always as sticky as you want it to be. So this part now, you could always add a little bit of perhaps glue or super glue or whatever. Now my go-to super glue is either this Rocket 1 to 5 second, really good quick stuff, but this stuff's lethal. You've desperately got to be careful to keep your fingers out of the way of this, because it just doesn't show any prisoners. It sticks you together quick and you can blink. This is my favourite stuff, the 10 to 20 second bond. It's a bit thicker though as well, so when you're using photo etch you don't want to use too much of this stuff, because obviously it does dry quite thick as well, so it's quite a bit. So you could always use that. So there is basically your seatbelt, and that is all it basically takes. Now what I did on the other one is I measured it up, and then I sort of, because this is for a 1/48 scale, okay, so I've cut that bit off there. And now what you also need, well, what I did is just tried a bit. I did it first, think, you know what, that's okay, that's good enough, I'm not bothered anymore. But I thought, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit more detail. So now a lot of obviously seat belts for the planes actually come up around the lap as well. So you get these that go over the arms, and then you get two bits that go over the lap and connect in. So I thought what I'll do is just do it as though they're just ones that just come over your arms and connect there. So I basically, this is quite fiddly, this bit. You want to slowly get the end of your tape and either separate it or this is where the super glue comes in. So let's just use this 20-second stuff. Okay, I'm just going to make sure that it's actually, no it's not, because I have to, the only thing with this super glue is you have to keep bursting the end of it to make sure it's in working order, which is a pain in the ass. But anyway, right, so what I do is then, on one side you need another hoop, so that, or on this side what I do is I just get your bit of fuse wire again and just add a little, just a little bend, so it's like that, basically like an L shape on the end. Okay, can you see? Anyway, so it's basically like that on the end. Okay, and then simply get your sprue cutters again, just a tad, cut it off, and then all I do is get a bit of glue, turn it over because you want the back of the seat belt this time. Okay, get a bit on the end of your pin, if it'll come out. Come on, you know you want to. Sorry guys, I know my hands are in the way this time. You don't want too much, so you just want a little dab that will just hold the bit of metal quite nice. I've spilt most of that on the mat. Oh well. Right, that's that. And then just get your little clip with your tweezers and get it stuck down at the bottom, like so. Hopefully that won't take too long to dry, if it'll dry at all, because it might not have enough on there. So let's just give it a bit more just in case. In case it's saying, Steve, give me a bit more. Which sadly most of my women never do. Say my women. Make you sound like a pimp now, which I certainly aren't, sadly. But anyway, so I'll put my pin back up there and my super glue away, because I always like to keep a bit of a tidy desk, so I know exactly where everything is. Keep my foil, my wire and everything over here, and my tools down here. Okay, so then basically this will nearly, oh no, it's still not dry yet. The thing I would do is as well, guys, while it's waiting to dry, just keep moving the belt just around, so if any super glue has dropped onto your bench, and it's gone underneath your belt, it's not actually stuck down your belt, you know, your belt down. Right, anyway, that is basically it. So, and there, let me just get a piece of paper so I can show you. Let's get this bit of card. You can tell I'm professional, like me and Bees always are with our videos. And that is basically it. There's your belt. So Joe, I hope that helped. It's 13 minutes of me talking crap and my first guidance video. But anyway, that's it. That's all it takes really. And then of course obviously you can paint it up and detail it and do whatever you want to do with it. One thing you could do is perhaps paint the bits of strapping and your tape first before you put it along onto your silver bits, because obviously you don't want to go over with the airbrush and spray it all, because you'll lose the sort of silverness of your buckle and everything. I mean, you can always go over it after with some silver paint, but obviously it doesn't look as good as the actual silver. These are just my tips, of course. You'll find your own way of doing things, which I did, and there's plenty more videos out there that do miles better belts than me, of course. This is just my way of first time scratch building something for an aeroplane I was doing of this Corsair I'm doing, and I just found it worked and it seemed okay, so there you go. But that is basically it, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed it. Joe, I hope that's adequate enough for you. Guys that are following me and are used to me building models and that, I'm sorry if I bored you rigid with that, but still, you know, you've got to look after your mates and stuff. If you know, some viewers want stuff that other viewers don't, and you know, you've got to accept it, haven't you, I'm afraid. Anyway, guys, hope you'll stay safe. Hope you're well. Joe, that's for you, mate. Hope you'll stay safe. Hope you're well. And may the force be with you.